Unite claims to be, and I'm sure is, the largest union in the country. They were critical in winning the votes at the TUC, and Simon Duvit, our next speaker, helped make that happen. Simon.
Thanks, Chair, and thanks for the opportunity to say a few words here tonight. I'm here just to express the solidarity of our union and its 2 million members with the people of Palestine and the people of Gaza. I'm not going to dwell or repeat some of the excellent points that have been made tonight, but I do want to underline some of the comments that Alison and Hugh and others have made, that there is definitely a growing awareness, a growing understanding and a growing engagement of trade unionists and their organisations in the question of Palestine. 1 year ago, the executive of Unite in January adopted a statement that thoroughly condemned Israeli aggression, called for a targeted boycott of Israeli goods, and also an end to arms sales. And I was particularly proud of that because our union has got members that are engaged in the production of arms. So to make such a clear statement, I think was very, very important. We've continued to lobby government as much as we possibly can. We've had meetings with ministers, including with David Miliband and others as well. Our General Secretaries have regularly signed the protest letters that have been published in various newspapers and journals, and more recently, Tony Woodley, our Joint General Secretary, signed the letter calling for war criminals to be held to account and processes to be put in place. As Hugh said, we fully supported the FBU motion at this year's TUC Congress, and that will lead, I think, to a much broader understanding and engagement and awareness on behalf of the trade union movement as a whole. I think what we've got to concentrate now is putting the boycott, disinvestment and sanctions policy into concrete effect and concrete practice. I think as well, for those of us that were at the TUC, wouldn't underestimate the effect of that change of position. It was very visible in the phone calls that were flowing between government and the TUC, and the enormous pressure that was being put on the TUC not to adopt that position. Nonetheless, I think it's a credit to various unions that we held the line there and have managed to come forward with a much more progressive policy than we've had in the past. I think in the name of Unite as well, it's just important to underline that we assisted some of our South African colleagues to take part in the UCU conference organised in December last year. I can only say, those of you that haven't heard Ronnie Casriels of South Africa give his analysis and comparison between Israel and South Africa apartheid, try and get the opportunity to do so, because his analysis and his take on that really puts in sharp perspective the way in which the Israeli state behaves at the moment. And just like apartheid South Africa, there's always room and a hope that we can bring about change despite the difficulties and problems that we face at the moment. I think as a trade unionist as well, some of the solidarity that's been shown and is still in its infancy and needs building up, needs to be underlined. Let's not forget the courageous actions of those South African trade unionists from the Transport Union that refused to unload that ship some time ago in South Africa. And let's also not forget the actions of the Norwegian trade unionists, the train drivers that held that symbolic 2-minute strike in solidarity with the Palestinians in a country that seems far away and little connected with that. I think that was a tribute to them, and it's those type of actions that we should look to. Colleagues, just to conclude, I think, as all of us, or most of us here would agree, the Israeli aggression against the Palestinians and the human rights abuses are an absolute outrage and affront to humanity. It's utterly unacceptable that Israel stands outside international law. It's got to be changed. I've no doubt it will continue to be a difficult struggle, but I'm absolutely convinced there is a change in the air, and that change will come about. I can guarantee Unite will continue to work with the Palestinian Solidarity Campaign. We'll continue to work to build solidarity with the Palestinians. It's time to end the siege, bring the war criminals to justice, and bring a justice and peace.